The following is a feature presentation of our nation's sports show. And so it begins. Tonight, the NBA's postseason for 2026 is finally here. The play-in tournament starts tonight. The 7 and 8 seeds in both the Eastern and Western Conferences, respectively, are up for grabs. Who will claim the final two playoff spots? And who will be eliminated? The road to the NBA Finals starts now.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
Look, I get it. Look, Pat McAfee is an inefficient tool. I get it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think Cody's going to beat the shit out of him tomorrow. Oh, show's up. Gotta go. Bye. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. You know what that means. Besides the fact that the biggest event of the year, and no, I am not talking about the Jets losing another season. It is our Nation Sports Show, and of course, this weekend being WrestleMania. So, all the wrestling fans, have a good weekend. Real quick, just want to say that. But to everyone in Sports Show Land, welcome. I'm Ezra Vickery, and we are here live with a great show for you. And we got a fair amount to get into, not a whole lot. So this might be an early show, depending on what topics we could dig up. And we'll get into it. Obviously, the NBA postseason officially begins tonight with the play-in tournament. And those spots those winners of those tournament matches will be going on to the actual playoffs, which will take place later on this week as well. And also, we're going to get into a couple of small NFL news notes, including a possible issue involving a reporter and an NFL head coach. And, of course, the NFL draft is next week. We'll get into whatever other news we can think of. And maybe even we'll give our picks for the two main events of WrestleMania. We'll see what happens. But with me right now is, of course, my heavy metal brother. My brother in the world of whose body temperature always reads 70,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the temperature of what? Rock. A man who is often imitated like Jesse Ventura, but never duplicated like a Cowboys Super Bowl run. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Big Stephen White.
Very flattering by you. What is going on, everybody? Yes, we are here. We are live. And yes, if you are a wrestling fan, you know what this weekend is. It is WrestleMania 42 coming at you from Sin City in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm pretty sure our friends that are going to be down there in Vegas are going to have a grand old time going to the Busted Open Party in Vegas on Friday night. Thank God it's on Friday, not Saturday morning. Because, let's be honest, nobody wants to go to a damn party at 10 o'clock in the morning because they're trying to recuperate from all the fun that they're having on Sin City at the Strip and stuff. So, yeah. And also a lot of fun happening in the NBA because the postseason officially begins tonight with the play-in tournament as the final two spots in the East and the West are up for grabs. Who will get them? We will find out in the next couple of days. The play-in tournament starts tonight. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who gets these final couple of spots. And there's been some news that came down in the world of the NBA and all of that good stuff. So let's do this.
Absolutely, man. And we want to send safe travels to our friends, of course, Mark's in New Mexico, Too Sweet Neil, Scotty in Long Island, Those are just some of the people who are going to be heading out to WrestleMania weekend to check out the festivities and to check out the collective, and also to be a part of the weekend. They're not going to be, of course, attending WrestleMania, but they will be during they'll be checking out all the extra stuff during the weekend, which I'll at the end of the show quickly list and give you a couple of events that I know I'm excited for. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. But right now, let's get into some news that broke in the NFL, and it concerns a possible affair going on. And we don't get into tabloids or topics on the show like that, but this is considering a coach who was just in the Super Bowl this past year. Diana Rossini, who was originally part of ESPN, she was fired from the net program in 23. Well, she turned in her resignation notice to the world famous Athletic. Now, she put a differing reason behind it, but we can kind of read through the tea leaves and kind of see where this is going. Page 6, a very known tabloid page, took photos of Ms. Rossini. Looked like she's snuggling up or cozying up in a way to head coach of the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel. Now, you might say, well, what's the deal here? Well, the problem is Vrabel and her are married to separate people. So this is a very deep issue here that could cause those. I mean, it's more drama than anything. Obviously there'll be drama, maybe a divorce, courts will fight it out, blah blah blah, the boring shit nobody wants to hear about. And I get it. I don't want to hear about it either. It makes my head spin. But it was just something that popped into my head that was something I saw online that just made me want to talk about it real quick. But
Yeah, because I mean, like when you
not a good look for Mike, to say the least.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And the thing that irks me about this situation is we have seen in every sports league when there has been shenanigans that has gone down.
Shenanigans?
Shenanigans? Yeah, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans. How we have seen in the NFL, the NBA, what have you, we have seen cases where coaches or players get into these things and it just causes a rippling effect that can really change how the team's season is going to go for the next year, or especially before the season even gets started. I mean, think about it. The Patriots were just in the Super Bowl against Seattle. And I know that we always say, and sports writers and sports fans will always say that it's so hard to win in sports, consecutively, because especially the NFL. But at the same time, we have seen coaches, players that get into these activities off the field, and they have changed the dynamic on how the team's chemistry is going to go. Because if this is going on, this right here is going to change everything probably, because, I mean, when you're Mike Vrabel, you're trying to concentrate on coaching your team, but now that this affair basically is happening, this right here can cause damage, because these players, that went to the Super Bowl, were speaking highly of Vrabel and saying how great Mike is to the guys and the coaching staff and all of that. I mean, now, who knows? Maybe the teammates can't trust him anymore. I mean, again, we don't know because we're not there, but we have seen situations across every sports, major league, in the NHL, in Major League Baseball, NBA. We have seen coaches, managers, players, etc., that have put themselves into hot fire and they can't get out of it, and it causes the team's hot streak to disintegrate. And who the hell knows what's going to happen, because now, even if this affair didn't happen and she didn't go public about this, or things didn't leak out, what's going on, even before this happened today, I still would be sitting here on the show telling you that I don't think the Patriots are going to make a comeback to the Super Bowl next year. Because again, it is so hard to win in the NFL consecutively. I mean, the parity has been skyrocketing since the evil empire that a lot of people called Belichick and Brady's Patriots when Brady left New England after 2019. The parity went even more crazy the last 6 years. And it's going to do it again this upcoming year. So, yeah, it's really interesting that this is happening a week before the draft and weeks and weeks and weeks before training camp starts. Because as soon as training camp starts with New England, Mike Vrabel's going to be getting asked questions consecutively about this affair. Because this is not a good look for him and his organization. And especially to Robert Kraft. Because obviously Kraft is the owner. He's gonna get questioned about it too. Like, hey Bob, what the hell's going on? What is your head coach doing? Why is he fucking around? With another woman. And she's doing the same thing. She's screwing around on her husband with another man that's married. Like, what the hell? It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane, but unfortunately, it's the way this crazy world sometimes works.
And
But
not
then
only
again,
that, but
oh, wait.
And not only that, but like, again, we live in a world now where if anybody sees anybody out there with any other significant other than your spouse, people are going to be like, oh, this is probably happening. Click, take a picture, and then we'll post it on social media. And people will be speculating, going, oh, what's going on here? Like, oh, okay, this looks like an interesting situation. Okay, let me dig into this. And then everything starts happening. Just all at once, snowballing, just boom, boom, boom. Like, and it's happened. Because again, we don't even know who took the picture. Somebody could have came out of nowhere and said, surprise, here's these pictures. I'm gonna be the asshole that really screws everything up. And oh, my friend's doing this, he's doing this. Okay, you know what? Screw it. It ain't my circus, it ain't my monkey, but it's not my hill to die on because I'm not involved in it. It's your problem to deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's see here what I can. Let's see here what I could dig up. Otherwise I'll just be alone digging up bones, but that's all there's to it. According to our good friend, Mr. Adam Schefter, since we're going to stick with the NFL here for a minute, let's see. The Michigan, right now, here's some college news for you. Michigan has now received its first notable quarterback commitment of the Kyle Whittingham era, as four-star Camden Lopati is pledged to the Wolverines for the 2027 season. The 6'3", 220-pound prospect is rated among the top 10 quarterbacks in this recruiting cycle. So you have that going on. Let's see what else real quick before we get out of here. Or before we move on to next. Some unfortunate news in the NFL, and that is former NFL coach Dave McGinnis has died at the age of 74 years old. He has been hospitalized since early March with an illness. He has been a head coach, assistant, in many different teams, including the Titans, Rams, and the Bears. Most notably, 17 seasons with the Titans, but 31 seasons in the NFL. As a coach, an assistant, as a part of any team, he's been with the league. He was with the league for 31 years.
We definitely send our condolences and our thoughts and our prayers to his family and his friends during this difficult time.
Yep. Yep, and also, let's see here. it was also announced that Mark Jones, the legendary uh, NBA play-by-play man for both SportsCenter and live ESPN stuff, covering the draft as well, I believe is officially signed off for the final time,
Mm.
if I'm reading the tea leaves right. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think that's what it is Mark Jones has officially retired.
Uh-huh.
Yep, after 38 years of covering sports on ESPN.
He was like one of the last
Oh no!
remaining.
Oh wait, oh he was let go.
Oh.
Yep, but a lot of people are also belting him for some of his political views and other things, and saying that he's woke and all that. But that's all a subject for everybody else to talk about, not for us. We're not going to get into politics or anything on this show. We're politics free, so. But Mark Jones got the boot. Now he's gone after 38 years. Makes sense. Probably public pressure, but as usual. Some concerning news came out today about one of the great legends of the sport, and that is Dick Vitale. Dick Vitale has announced that he is once again, for the 5th time, battling cancer. And he is it was announced that he has melanoma in one of his lungs, and as well as in his liver cavity. He said in this statement, he said he'll be starting immunotherapy shortly, and he plans on winning his battle. He goes, I've beaten melanoma, I've beaten lymphoma, I've beaten vocal cord cancer, I've beaten lymph node cancer. I'm 4 for 4, and I'm fully confident I'm going to make it 5 for 5. So we send our best, our prayers and our condolences, or not condolences, sorry, our prayers and our well wishes to Dick Vitale in this next fight against cancer. Stevie, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought my audio might have cut out or my
Yep.
screen.
Yep. You're good.
Okay, I was just talking about Dick Vitale fighting cancer again.
Yeah, it sucks. He's going through this again. And I think that he's been a warrior. He's been fighting these tough battles, and he's beaten it 4 times. And hopefully, he can go 5 for 5 and beat it again. Because I mean, he's courageous. He's been through a lot, over these last several years, and he did it 4 times already. He can do it again. So we're pulling for you, baby.
Yes, we are. Um, Also, we want to send our congratulations to one Mr. Rory McIlroy. The man has won the Masters for the 2nd year in a row. Congratulations are in order to Mr. McIlroy making history on that front. Also, too, this was a Masters that also did not have several people in it, including Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. Of course, Tiger Woods now currently battling possible DUI charges, entering rehab, and then of course Phil Mickelson decided not to play this year.
And I know for McElroy, it was a hard road to get here. Winning the Masters for a second straight year in a row, because for a while he was up 6 heading into Saturday, and then by the end of Saturday he was tied, and then Sunday he fell behind, and he had to make a comeback, and he did. That monkey on your back, trying to win the green jacket is one thing, but defending your crown at trying to repeat with back-to-back green jackets, like, it's a hard task to do. And he joins, rarefied, air, of a club, of repeating as back-to-back Masters champions. Like, it's hard to do. And he did it.
Yeah, he did, man. Just absolutely one of the best modern golfers of our generation. You know, we have our Jordan Spieth, we have our Rory McIlroys, we have our Tiger Woods.
The
You
older
know,
McElroy would have folded if he would have fell behind like he did over the weekend, and it would have crumbled. But the fact that he was so determined, to come from behind and not give up, like that right there just shows you the heart of a champion.
yep, absolutely. Congratulations, Tim. Next is Cowboys safety Marquise Bell was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance and marijuana on Friday. As if more issues for the Cowboys. They ain't what they're looking for.
Yep, the Cowboys have been dealt another blow, and that's their fault.
It's not their fault. Let's see what else here, real quick. Oh, Dontavion Wicks got traded from the Green Bay Packers to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a 2026 fifth round pick and a 2027 sixth round pick. And Wicks will sign a 1 year, $12.5 million deal for extension with the Eagles per his agent.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have 8 draft picks this year because Green Bay, and could have 10 next year. And also they saved $2.6 million in salary cap space by trading him as well. Former New York Jets quarterback Brownie Nagel. He was known for his 1991 Fiesta Bowl performance for Louisville. He passed away this week after a battle with colon cancer. He was 57 years old. Let's see here. Dolphins free agent quarterback Jack Jones is signing a 1-year deal with the 49ers. Niners got another cornerback to play with. Falcons have picked up Bijan Robinson's 5th-year contract option.
I wouldn't be surprised after this year if Robinson is asking for more than just an extension. Give that man a contract, Atlanta. That's your best player. I know you still got Kyle Pitts, but Robinson is the man with the plan. Like, he was one of the most dangerous running backs last year in 2025. He was so hard to tackle. Like, he is a physical running back.
Yeah. Let's see here. There was something else I saw. I thought it was. Oh, the Texans have exercised the 2027 fifth-year options on both C.J. Stroud and Willie Anderson. Both men are due together $47 million between the two of them.
Okay, I would pay Anderson his money and all that good stuff, but CJ Stroud, like Kevin has talked about on this show numerous occasions, what the hell has happened to this dude? I mean, his regression has been noticeable year after year since his rookie year. Like, last year was very noticeable. I mean, his offensive line couldn't protect worth a damn. He couldn't throw consistently. He was throwing horrible interceptions a lot during the times.
Yeah, the playoffs.
Yeah, especially the playoffs. Oh, God, that was a disaster.
Game against the Patriots was a fucking joke.
Yeah. And then the Patriots followed it up with even more of a joke of a game against Denver in the snow. With a backup quarterback.
Yep. Falcons offensive tackle Caleb McGarry has announced his retirement for the NFL.
Real quick, did TKO book that Patriots and Broncos snow game? Just saying.
No, because because if they did, Pat McAfee would be making a special guest appearance. And did we probably have Jelly Roll as a special guest commentator? The only way it could make that thing better if it came down to that was have just Danhausen curse the other team.
Yeah.
That would be the only way you could salvage that. Star Michigan guard Trey McKinney has signed to return to the Wolverines.
Hmm.
He earned all Big Ten freshman honors this season after arriving as a top 20 recruit and McDonald's All-American. He averaged 9.9 points per game in Michigan's national title team. Also, another Michigan Wolverine has also been kept, and that was Elliot Cadeau. He has agreed to a deal for him to return for his senior year at Michigan. So just wanted to throw those real quick out there. And besides that, he just listed all of like the draft attendees, the people, of course, all the people that are in this draft class. Obviously, some of the notable names here are like Caleb Downs, Malachi Lemon, Jeremiah Love, Caden McDonald, Caden Proctor, Ty Simpson, Carnell Tate. Obviously, those are the names that are going to be there at the draft to represent their, the schools, and of course to be there when their number is called. And that's pretty much it in the world of the NFL. There wasn't that much going on. Let's go ahead and get to the NBA. Of course, as we mentioned at the top of the show, and Steven mentioned in the intro, that it is the officially postseason time, and that tonight is the beginning of the play-in tournament. And the games for that tonight are as scheduled. Give me 1 second. Tonight, it is going to be the Heat and the Hornets, and the Trailblazers and the Suns tonight. And then tomorrow will be Magic and the Sixers, and the Warriors and Clippers. And then Friday will be the next set of games, which will be played at 6:30 Central and 9 o'clock Central. Check your local listings and your time zones for information on that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this play-in tournament, goes, because I mean, when you look at the teams that are vying for these playoff spots, you had the Clippers who made the trade with Harden, when I'm surprised they even made it this far to get to a possible spot, because they were just falling hard at the seams in the season as the season was going on. And the fact that you had Golden State's injuries with Butler and obviously Stephen Curry, him having those knee injuries, his lingering ankle injuries. I mean, Golden State is where they are because of the injuries that they've had this past year, but they still have a shot to even get in. And this is why those that are left standing, you have to put your best foot forward and your best effort forward, because basically I believe it is the Sixers and the Hornets respectively. If they win, I think they're automatically in, because they're technically the highest seed between those two teams that are facing each other. Like the Hornets are facing the Heat, like you said, and the Sixers are facing the Magic. If Orlando wins Philadelphia has to lose their next game for Orlando to get in. If Orlando wins, in order for Philly to get in, Philly would have to win their next game, then Orlando would have to lose their next game. So that's pretty much how that kind of works. I think that's how that works. But regardless, it's gonna be interesting to see who gets in because I mean, Charlotte this year has developed as one of the more shocking, pretty solid, younger. They're a very young team, and getting LaMelo Ball, and him playing his ass off, and he's ever since he's come over to Charlotte, and he's done a really good job. They've drafted very well, this year, having some really good young players that are going to be here for a very long time, as long as they can stay the course and they can, keep building. Because if Charlotte continues to go on this hot streak, people will not be considering. Hey, nobody wants to go to that laughing stock of a basketball team. They're going to look at it and go, hey, remember that team that used to be bad? Now they're pretty solid. Let's go to Charlotte. Let's continue the rebuilding process and make this team even bigger. Because obviously back in the 90s, the Hornets were pretty competitive back in the day. And it's very nice to see, that potentially this team could be on the rise. And now obviously that does good, for, the community and the economy, because I mean, when the Sacramento Kings for years was trash, nobody was going to the games. But when the Kings drafted good, they signed players very well in the offseason for a couple of years, Sacramento regained their mojo as a basketball team and a basketball city. And people were starting to show up week after week in the more consecutive games. Now the Kings are back into the bottom 4 quarters of the basement again. But the Charlotte Hornets are one of those teams. They are the Kings of 2026 because they are doing the same thing that Sacramento did back in 22. And how they are on this run, it's amazing. So let's see if they can continue it. Can they make it into the playoffs? Who the hell knows? Because they're going to have a tough task in front of them because Bam Adebayo, who dropped 83 points early on in the spring this year, which is insane, even saying that he surpassed the late, great Kobe Bryant to become the second all-time scorer, that's going to be a tough task at hand for Charlotte to handle. And, of course, Philly. I mean, Philly's had a very interesting year because, I mean, Joel Embiid, like we talked about on this show time and time again, there's been times where he can't even stay healthy. And Philly has, some players, but I don't think Philly, even if they do, get the final 2 spots, one of the final 2 spots, I don't think they're going to last. If they got to face the Celtics, they're done. If they got to face the Pistons, they're done. And same with Orlando. Orlando started off pretty good, and then they traded away Vucevic. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, that's one of your better players that you had for the last couple of years. And you're trading away one of your better talents. So even if Orlando gets in, they're done. I actually give Charlotte the best shot. Maybe they won't win a series, but if they get in, they're going to give Detroit hell. They're going to give Boston hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, this is gonna be a very competitive this is gonna be a very competitive play-in tournament. It really is. And who knows in this situation what we're gonna see as far as the playoffs go. And that's the one great thing about tournaments like these, because you never know what's gonna happen. You never know who could pull off the surprise jumper to win the game, who could have a record-breaking performance, who could have, the most assists in a playoff game. It's any stat could come up, but of course you could have as many stats as you want. In the end, it's about winning the damn game and moving on to the next round. But
That's right.
Oh, go ahead.
That's right. Go ahead.
It's if I look back at this, you're right. The Hornets have really made a lot of noise, no pun intended, Oh shit.
Hey!
Oh shit. KR. Oh no, it's the other guy.
Now here's a guy.
Now here's a guy. Is your connection there?
Oh, what's going on, gents? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
I don't know about your connection, but I can definitely hear you.
There we go.
Okay, yeah,
What's
that
up, man?
sounds a
There
little
we
better.
go.
What's
Yeah,
going
I
on, dude?
couldn't hear y'all good at first. But
All
yo,
right.
what's up, gents?
What's up, man?
You on the way home from work?
No, I've actually been off all day. I've just been having some stuff to do.
Okay,
I
no
feel,
problem.
but I had enough time to where I figured I could hop on for a few minutes.
All right, no problem, man. We were just talking about the play-in tournament.
Oh yeah, because I believe the Heat and Hornets are going to be tipping off here in just a little bit if they haven't done so already.
Yep.
Yeah,
Against Miami.
Yeah, they're as the last check, they were in the pregame stuff right now, and then later on tonight it's the Trailblazers and the Suns.
Yep.
So, what are your thoughts on the play-in tournament, and who do you see moving on?
As far as the play-in tournament is concerned, well, as far as tonight is concerned, I could definitely see the Suns moving on over the Blazers, mainly because the Suns have a better team on paper. And I mean the Blazers, I mean they could be consistent at times, but I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with the Suns. And as far as the Heat and Hornets are concerned, obviously I would love to see the Hornets move on, but they lost the season series, I believe, 3-1 to the Heat. But also, all those games that the Heat beat the Hornets, it was before the Hornets went on their incredible hot streak here in the second half of the regular season. So, I mean, the Hornets, they have a very good team right now on paper, as long as everybody can stay healthy with LaMelo and Concanipple and Brandon Miller. So, as far as tonight's concerned, I would love to see the Hornets move on. But as far as the play-in tournament in general, let's see, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Magic and the Sixers,
Yep.
followed by the who's the West 9 and 10? I cannot
It
think right
is
now.
it's the Warriors are the 10th and
Warriors and
Clippers.
Clippers.
the Clippers.
I know the Warriors just played the Clippers on Sunday and didn't win, but this is also the playoffs that we're talking about here. And I know that Steph Curry knows just about as well as anyone on that Warriors roster that this is playoff time. So it's time to put up or shut up.
Or if you're a zombie,
And
or if you're a
as far
or if you're a Zombieland fan, Joey, it's time to nut up or shut up.
yeah, but yeah, I got a feeling that with since the Warriors have Curry back now, and since he's pretty much picked up where he left off before his injury, it wouldn't surprise me to see the Warriors beat the Clippers tomorrow night. And I could definitely see the Magic more than likely beat the Sixers, because the Sixers, I mean, they look to be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference this season, but they've had so many problems with being inconsistent on both ends of the court and a whole bunch of injuries that they've had this season. The Magic, they have been consistent most of the year with Paolo Banchero and Desmond Bain leading that team the way they have. So I can see it being the Hornets and the Magic on Friday. No, I'm sorry. The Hornets and the Sixers on Friday, since the 7-8 loser will play the 9-10 winner. And then I can see the Warriors and the Suns being the nightcap on Friday. And As much as I like seeing Steph Curry play, I think the Suns might actually get him unless the Warriors can actually pull out a miracle out of a pull a rabbit out of a magician's hat here. And as far as the Hornets and Magic are concerned, it wouldn't surprise me if the Hornets actually beat the Magic because the Hornets actually took the series from the Magic in the regular season, and most of those games were in the second half when Charlotte went on their amazing run. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Hornets play the game that they know they're supposed to play, and if they can stay elite on defense like they have been. I can see them being the 8th seed and going on to face the Pistons. So, yeah, I would say my prediction for the play-in, I would say the Hornets and the Warriors. I mean, I'm sorry, the Hornets and the Suns.
Okay, I could definitely see that. Let's. I mean, Steven, do you have any thoughts on this, or do you want to move on to the next?
Yeah, I I'm probably gonna go with Golden State getting in and Phoenix beating Portland as well. And then for the East, I say Philly's gonna find a way to get one of the final spots, and Charlotte's gonna get in.
Okay, so you say the Magic are going to face Charlotte on Friday, and then the Warriors are going to face the Blazers, you think?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I can see that. Honestly, if the Warriors do go on to face the Blazers on in Friday's nightcap, I can see the Warriors winning that one.
Yeah.
I really can. So yeah, I would say my 4 actual spots. Because I forgot I only mentioned 2. From the East, Magic and Hornets, and I'm gonna say the Suns and the Warriors in the West.
Okay, that's a very interesting there, Joey. And since your name is up there, let's break into that. And that is that after 3 seasons as the head of the Milwaukee Bucks, Doc Rivers is out.
Not
Doc-
surprised at all.
Good old Doc Fraudvers. Because I mean, let's be honest here. Other than that 2008 NBA championship team in which he had KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce on the same team, and those years following in which Boston still made deep runs in the playoffs after that, Doc has not had it as far as head coaching. He has tried and tried and tried, but he has just come up short each and every time. And
if you thought the collapse with the Clippers was bad, Philadelphia was really even more bad, and then Milwaukee was even worse.
yeah, I was about to say Milwaukee was probably even worse. And I'm telling you one thing right now, if I am that Bucks front office, I would shoot myself in the foot for the next 3 years because they wasted 3 years of playing, 3 years of talent in this
And
coach.
you wasted Damian Lillard.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. You wasted Damian Lillard. And you wasted pretty much
Giannis.
pretty much the last star player that you're gonna have on that roster, not for too much longer, in Giannis.
Oh, if you thought the epic collapse of the Milwaukee Bucks back in the day when Allen left, when Sam Cassell left, I forget I forget the other player. Was it Sam Perkins or somebody like that was on that team in 2001? But when those guys left Milwaukee, and you had the years of embarrassing records for Milwaukee in the NBA, then you get Michael Redd, and then they didn't do shit for years because he was injured all the time. And then a couple of times they made the postseason just when you think they're making strides. You know, they're going to go places. They're going to go far. And then he gets injured again. And then they finally get the Greek freak in Giannis. And then he was good, when he came into the league. Then after he came into the league, they started to win. And they were winning. And then they met the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2019, and they lost. But that wasn't the old Milwaukee Bucks. That was a new, reinvented Milwaukee Bucks squad.
And think. And if you look back, it was only 5 years ago that the Bucks won the NBA championship in 6 games over the Suns.
Yep.
Since then, Milwaukee hasn't done shit at all.
Nope. And after they lost to Toronto in 2019, they rebuild. The next year they didn't make it, but then the next year in 21, like you just said, they won all the marbles. They beat the Suns in 6 games, capping off that Giannis 50-point piece in Game 6.
But then after that, they were like, we don't need you, Bunholzer. You can go on elsewhere. We'll give you a pink slip, and you can hit the curbs for all we care.
And then you fired your next head coach. What was his name? Adrian
Griffin. Even though
Adrian
he
Griffin.
led them to a
He
30
was 33
record.
Yeah.
30-13 record in an interim basis. And for who? Doc Rivers, who hadn't done shit since 2008? Are you freaking stupid, Milwaukee?
Basically, what Milwaukee did is what TKO did with the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton bullshit. Is they stuck their nose in their business and they thought, oh, you know what? Mr. Griffin, you've had a good record, 30-13. That's good, but let's get the guy who has a championship ring with the Celtics and Doc Rivers. Hey, Doc. Hey, can you come from behind the desk? I know you're sitting there working with Mike Breen. You're making good money. You're calling basketball games on ESPN, ABC. But hey, we'll give you a big fat contract so you can come coach Giannis, and then and then we'll get Damian Lillard.
Hold on a second here. You're telling me that the Bucks put all of their hope, all of their trust, all of their elite playmaking 4 years ago into a coach that hasn't done anything since he won the NBA championship back in 2008, which was from that time. 14 years. Come on now, Milwaukee. Wake up and smell the coffee. Doc was a failure.
He was a failure because he couldn't get it done in Lob City with Chris Paul, with DeAndre Jordan. With Blake Griffin. And then he goes to the freaking 76ers, and we knew that one was cursed because James Harden, he decided to chicken out.
Well, James Harden couldn't get let's say, was it Philadelphia or Houston where he had problems with the GM?
Philly. No, I'm sorry, Houston.
Houston, okay.
And then oh, by the way, in Philly, you had the Celtics on the ropes. You were up 3-2.
Then
not only did you lose in Game 6.
And what happened in Game 6 and 7? Philadelphia choked like they do best.
Not only did you lose in Game 6, but you lost in Game 7 by getting destroyed. And then, oh, by the way, if we're going back and forth into the archives of Doc Rivers' epic collapses, 2019, you were facing Toronto in Game 7.
Oh, God.
And Kawhi's doink of a field goal that just bounces on the rim goes in. That is the typical way of Doc Rivers of losing. He is the Tennessee Titans of the NBA. One game short.
Oh, my God. That Kawhi Leonard shot, I can tell by the second that shot went off, I was like, man, this shot has less than a 1% chance of going in. And sure enough, doink, doink, swish. I'm like,
I think it went around the rim like 5 times. And then it just dropped in. Because Doc's thinking, oh, we're going to overtime. Nope.
And Doc was like, what did I just watch? You can see by the look on his face. He was like, oh, shit.
And you know what? Now, and I know this is going back into the archives of Doc Rivers' choke jobs. But against the Lakers in 2010, 3-2, you're up on the Lakers.
Oh my God, yes.
Then Kendrick Perkins gets injured in Game 6. Then in
that
Game
was
7,
when-
you're up 13. And
that
you
was
blew the
when
lead.
Kobe Bryant. I remember because that was when Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and Andrew Bynum just completely took over.
And Kobe Bryant in that game was like 6 of 24. 6 of 24, and you still couldn't get the job done. All because, by the way, you were undersized because your big man, Kendrick Perkins, gets injured in Game 6. Bynum and Gasol out-rebounded your asses, and you blew the 13-point lead. And that was the slow domino effect of what has been happening for the last 16 years to Doc Rivers. Can't win the big one, other than the 1 year where his team went from the worst to the best, because the Celtics were a 24-win basketball team in 2006. 24-58, I believe they were.
Yep.
Then the next year they went 66-16. The best turnaround in NBA history, and they won the championship.
Because because like I said, you had Garnett, Pierce, and Allen on the same team.
Yep.
The first rendition of the NBA's modern day Big Three.
Yep. Doc Rivers, if he did not win that championship in 2008, we would be talking about him as a colossal failure.
Yeah.
Because I have not witnessed a head coach in any era that has been this bad in a big game situation other than 1 year. 1 year.
Yeah, see, and also, if you were to look further back in Doc Rivers' history, wasn't he a failure as the coach of the Orlando Magic at one point?
Yes, he was. A team that had
Come on,
promising.
So the guy has been coaching in the NBA for what? Let's just say 15, 20 years, and he's only had one good season?
Whoa. Yeah, he's had one deep postseason run where he won the title, obviously. So we'll call his Celtics run success because he did make it to the NBA Finals twice, won one, lost one, so that kind of cancels out. Then in 2012, he went to the conference finals against the Heat, and that's when LeBron James happened in Game 6. 45 points. So that one, we're not going to get harsh on Doc for that one. Because that was LeBron coming out and having a hell of a game and sending the series back to South Beach for Game 7. So, other than his Celtics run as a head coach, the Clippers could not get to the conference finals. That also was playing Chris Paul for years. He couldn't win. He couldn't get out of the first or second round. And then the year they did make it to the second round, thinking, okay, here it is. And then, nope, because of Doc Rivers. And then those years in Philadelphia were garbage. He couldn't get out of the conference finals.
Nope.
And then with the Bucks, he couldn't even get close to any of that. And how Milwaukee has treated this Giannis situation, and Kevin hit the nail on the head last week, talking about how bad Giannis Antetokounmpo has been treated by the Milwaukee Bucks organization. Because I guarantee you, the Milwaukee Bucks organization is going to miss Giannis Antetokounmpo when he is out that door come June, July.
Yep.
The Milwaukee Bucks are going to experience basketball hell like they have never experienced in their entire existence as a basketball franchise. Oh, you thought the years of post Ray Allen were bad? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, because the Milwaukee Bucks spiraling failure is going to continue into next year, because mark my words, mark it down, April 14th, 2026, the Milwaukee Bucks will never win another championship as long as this organization is continuously ran into the ground, because they have drafted well and they have ended seasons badly with these great players and relationships with these great players over the years. It happened again. Giannis is done. They've mistreated this man. They've taken him for granted. And I can tell he's not going to say it outright because he's not going to throw Doc Rivers under the bus. He's not going to throw management under the bus, publicly. But privately, he's done.
Hey, if anything, he does need to throw management under the bus because look, I mean, ever since Milwaukee's championship win in 21, here's a basic timeline of what the Bucks did of what the Bucks did to Giannis. They let Chris Middleton walk.
Yep.
They let Bobby Portis walk. They let one of the greatest head coaches in Budenholzer just kicked him to the curb.
You fired him for no reason.
Yeah, you fired him for no reason. Then you bring in an intern who actually does a pretty hell of a job, but then you let him go because you're so interested in bringing in, oh, a savior. Doc Rivers is going to save us. Yeah, savior. And yeah, the only saving that Doc Rivers did was save y'all from even further embarrassment. I mean, yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, literally, you let Portis walk, you let Middleton walk, you say goodbye to your head coach, or your head coach gets fired, and then you bring in an even worse head coach. So I'm just like, Milwaukee set themselves up for failure after they won the championship in 2021, if you ask my opinion.
Yeah, but hey, guess what? Milwaukee, I got 3 words for you. It's say it along with me, guys. You
Are
hurt.
And that was a very nice, very evil introduction, courtesy of our nation's sports show.
And we do
Yeah.
approve these messages.
Yeah, and as far as Milwaukee is concerned, I have 3 more words for you. And here they are.
Boys.
New York Jets.
I thought you were going to say worse than Cowboys.
Oh, now that's a stretch.
Sorry, couldn't resist. Joey, I don't know how much more time you have with us. Do you have a little bit more time, or do you got to go soon?
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. I got more time.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I just read on NBA.com that while Tyrese is doing really good in therapy right now for his injured Achilles, he's in another battle right now.
Oh.
A battle of a disease called shingles.
Oh,
yeah.
For
Man.
those of you who don't know and may have not heard of it, shingles is the disease that you catch when you have chickenpox in your life. When you have the chickenpox virus, the shingles virus lives inside of you and incubates over time. Now, it usually only happens to older people, but it can happen to people young.
Usually ages 50 plus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, ages 50 plus usually get shingles once in their lifetime. And if you get it, it is very painful. Yes, it does get rid of eventually over time. It's one of those things that does go away, but it requires time, it requires patience, it requires discipline, because obviously it's not as easy as just waiting and wishing for it to go away. Shingles is and also to point out, it is also not contagious. It is just something that every person has in their body who has ever had chickenpox. If you have it, you have a very good chance of catching shingles. And it's painful. It can last for days, even weeks. And it is very debilitating. Trust me, one of my good friends, one of my family friends, who also happens to be our mechanic who works on all of our vehicles, he battled shingles for a month.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
He battled shingles for a month before he could get himself back to some sense of normal standing. So that's definitely a tough break that Giannis is getting right now with shingles, because it is very painful. It is itchy. It's like running hot coals on the back of your neck It can go from your neck to your face to your arm to your shoulder blades. It is severely annoying and it can be severely painful at times.
I mean, and poor Halliburton, he's been dealt, these hands, and obviously Indianapolis has experienced a lot of pain over the sports calendar year. First with the Pacers, with their star player going down with the Achilles injury in Game 7 against the Thunder in the finals, and then
And then Pat McAfee ruining WWE Raw right now by appearing his big old face on it.
oh, dear
Oh, which
God.
by the way, Cody Rhodes posted a video today on his Instagram of him boarding a private charter jet, and then a car ride to what happens to be Lucas Oil Stadium.
Oh golly.
So expect tomorrow on the Pat McAfee show for Cody Rhodes to appear and look to get his WWE championship back. Because if you guys haven't noticed, Pat currently has it inside the Thunderdome. Pat stole it from Cody in that last beatdown on SmackDown with Randy. So just wanted to let that out there. But you're right, man. It's the Halliburton
and
has
then,
to
and then the Colts, season with Daniel Jones having the injury.
Yeah, the Indiana teams, especially the Colts, the Pacers haven't dealt a lot of bad hands. And, unfortunately, Halliburton, this is just another battle he's going to have to get through. But luckily, it shouldn't last too long. And then once it's gone for a while, it won't come back for a while, too. So, but even though the shingles is a 50-plus expectancy for the virus to affect, it can affect people of a younger age too, depending on when it incubates and when it decides to come forth out of your body. So, best to Tyrese. But you know what? I kind of figured since well, actually, let's get to Major League Baseball. What's up,
Real
Joey?
quick, before we do get to Major League Baseball, I do want to provide a quick score update from our first game of the play-in tournament.
Okay.
3:02 to go in the first quarter. The Hornets are ahead 26-18 after being on an 8-0 run in the last 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 26-18 Hornets right now.
That's interesting. Okay. We'll be keeping an eye on that. And of course we'll talk about it next week. But as we know, it's the MLB season has started, and boy, it's been a crazy season already. We talked about last week how the Cubs lost their ace for the remainder of the season.
There's a team in the same division as the Cubs that lost a very key piece of their offense, because it was just confirmed today that Christian Yelich for the Milwaukee Brewers is going to be out a month at least with an adductor strain.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, they're saying he's expected to miss at least a month with an adductor strain.
Oof. Yeah, that's a big blow to the Bucks, because Yelich has been one of the premier hitters for the past few years. And
it's definitely a big blow, because after the Brewers have started 8-2 in their first 10 games, they've now lost 5 games in a row.
Yeah, like you mentioned about the adductor strain. There's also some other news. The manager for the Baltimore Orioles, Craig Albanaz, has suffered at least 7 fractures and as well as a broken jaw when he was struck in the face by a line drive yesterday when the O's played the Diamondbacks.
Yeesh.
but luckily he will not need surgery, and he is already back in the Baltimore dugout tonight.
Oh, here's some White Sox news.
Yep.
Yeah. The Chicago White Sox pitching prospect, their top prospect, Noah Schultz, is scheduled to make his major league debut in a start against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Find that very interesting.
Wow, they're saying Schultz, a 6'10", 22-year-old left-hander, was 3-0 with a 1.29 ERA in 3 games and 14 innings with Charlotte. He permitted only 6 base runners while striking out 19 of 47 batters. That's pretty good.
Yeah. He's solid. I mean, the Sox are doing okay. They're not playing their best ball, but it's a work in progress. It's a whole built new team. They got the home run hitter from Japan. He's probably still getting acclimated. So, it's a lot of ups and downs for the White Sox. Like I said, the Cubs are adjusting to losing their ace pitcher for the remainder of the season. So, to a possible Tommy John surgery. And which sucks. But they're doing okay. They had some good games recently. One at home on Friday in a big win, which is cool, 6-6 game, and then Carson Kelly hit a game-winning single to the warning track, and it was a big win. My buddy Andrew from Two Sweet Hospital was there at that game. Got to watch it. Here's some other news. Tigers center fielder Parker Meadows underwent surgery on Monday for a broken left arm. He sustained in an outfield collision with Riley Green.
Oh.
The only problem is I don't think of Riley Green, the pitcher, when I hear that name. I think of Riley Green, the country singer.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the guy who sang on the Ella Langley hit "You Look Like You Love Me." But anyways.
Hey, but I will say regarding baseball real fast. I couldn't say this last year, but I'll tell you one thing, even though we got our asses handed to us last night at the hands of the Marlins, the Braves are playing much better baseball this year than last year around this time.
Was it because Jackson Profar is suspended for the remainder of the year?
Oh dear God! Don't even get me started on that clown. He's going to be suspended more games than he's played for us since we got him.
Dude, I feel bad for you guys when I read that Profar was going to get suspended. And I'm like, oh my God.
But it's okay. It's okay because we don't need him. We don't need him because we got players that are really hitting the ball right now, especially our Rookie of the Year winner last year and catcher Drake Baldwin. That guy has been smashing the ball. Him and especially the guy that we have in the number 7 slot, Dominic Smith. Whoa, that boy is crushing the ball, and I'm loving every minute of it right now. So for once, it feels good to be a Braves fan.
At least you guys are doing pretty well. I will say that much.
I mean, we're 10-7 right now, first place in the NL East by a game, which is something that I can't say for Elders Mets.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say the same. Well, I was gonna say something about my Blackhawks too on the NHL side, but they have the second worst record in the entire NHL. So, yeah, not a good time right now if you're a Chicago sportsman. But let's go to some MMA news. I do have a couple of big news updates. First off, UFC 327 happened this past weekend, where Carlos Ulberg took on Iri Korchaka or Porchakska. And Carlos Ulberg injured his knee badly in the first round, the beginning of the first round. He gets put up against the cage and he starts to box a little bit. He hits Prochazka with a left hook that puts him down. 2 punches later, ref pulls him off, wins, finds out Ulberg tore his ACL in that fight.
Ooh.
He tore his ACL in that fight and still won by TKO. Even with a blown out knee.
That's insane.
You know what they say? The most dangerous animal is an animal that's hurt and when it's cornered because it has nothing left to lose. And he had nothing left to lose. He had a blown out knee. He knew if the fight went any longer, he'd probably get the fight stopped. He went in there, hit him with that left, and he was down. And that's all it took. Curtis Blades suffered a fractured orbital bone and a broken nose in a heavyweight fight. The guy who beat him, his name is Hawkett. He after this fight has now been added to the UFC White House card, and he will be facing Derek the Beast Lewis.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a heavyweight hoss fight. And then, what's up?
Let's finish talking about UFC first because I want to bring something up real fast.
Well, the last note I have is that at 327, it was announced that former one-time WWE superstar, Olympian wrestler, Gable Steveson has signed with the UFC.
Whoa.
And will be making his debut in July.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
And of course, you might remember his brother. I forget his first name, but he was known as Damon Kemp in NXT as part of the No Quarter Catch crew.
Oh yeah, I do remember him. I didn't know he was his brother.
Yeah, that was his. Yeah, it's his brother. That's Gable's brother. He was in the original incarnation of the No Quarter Catch crew with Kemp, Miles and Miles Tavion and Charlie Dempsey. So, but that's pretty much it.
Drew Gulak involved with that group as well for a short period of time.
What was that?
I said, wasn't Drew Gulak involved with that crew for a short period of time?
He was until he got busted for some sort of. He got canceled, I think, for something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was involved there for a short time, not a lot.
But anyway,
he wasn't there for a long time. He was there for a good time, as George Strait would say. But
anyway, it was interesting that you said the words heavyweight because it made me think of a return that we saw not in the UFC ring, but in the boxing ring in a unanimous decision, a unanimous dominant decision. We saw the return of one Mr. Tyson Fury, who competed in WWE one time. And what did he do after his match, after his victory? Calls out Mr. Anthony Joshua for a match. Imagine how big of a match that would be.
I agree. Anthony Joshua is one of the baddest fighters on the planet. I mean, he just recently took on didn't he just take on Canelo Alvarez? Recently?
I think so.
I know he also took on Jake Paul and knocked his ass out. That was rewarding.
That might have been the fight. That might have been
Jake Paul. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Anthony Joshua is one of the baddest fighters on the planet. And dude, a match with him and Tyson Fury. Yeah, I'm up for that. Sign me up for that all day.
Yeah, sign me up for that all day.
That'd be a good fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? we are going to switch it up. Actually, no, we're not. Joey, can you, if we did this tonight, could we were planning to do the top 5 NFL games of this past season. Do you need time, or can you do this on the fly right now?
To be honest, I might need some time.
Okay,
All right.
If you can make it, we'll do it for next week.
All right,
If not, you could just send in your list and we'll read it off.
got it.
But let's change it up a little bit. We usually don't talk wrestling on this show. But you know what? Let's give our picks for the 2 championship matches of WrestleMania to start with. Let's do that.
All right, well, y'all go ahead and get started on that. I'm gonna lay my son down and for bedtime first. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Okay, let's start off with the one we've kind of been mentioning here and there, and that is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the WWE Undisputed Championship.
I think
course.
Randy's gonna win. I think that Randy's gonna win. He's gonna win his 15th title and be second of all time.
Yeah.
Basically one step closer to being second of all time behind Flair's with 16.
Yeah.
I just think now, despite how bad the build has been because of McAfee's insertion into the storyline, I think that Orton and Cody, if it's just them, if TKO does not go into business for themselves and lets Cody and Randy just do what they do in that ring, it could be a Stone Cold Classic. Because Randy and Cody are that good at what they do. But even if the bullshit with McAfee wasn't happening, I still think that Randy was going to win anyways against Cody.
Yeah. I think Cody's got this one. And the reason being is, like you said, I think the storyline dictates that Randy gets number 15. I think that's the main thing. That's just going to happen. Yeah, I don't like the fact that Pat's inserted into this, and unfortunately, Jelly Roll's an unfortunate benefactor in this as well. Which, I mean, people can say what they want about Jelly Roll. I think he's been the most impactful celebrity since Bad Bunny to be a part of this. But Randy's going to get number 15. There's no doubt about that. That is beyond. It's just beyond comprehension. I think Cody's going to walk out with that title that night. It's not going to happen.
All right, guys, I'm back.
All right, we were talking about Cody versus Randy for the WWE Undisputed title.
All I gotta say is 3 letters. RKO. Give me Mr. Soon-to-be 15-time world champion Randy Orton, because the way that they're using him right now, who cares about Pat McAfee? I don't really care about him right now. But the way that they're using Orton right now, if they do not give him this undisputed championship at WrestleMania, WWE is going to be flushed down the toilet.
To me, though, with this running this game, we know running this whole thing. We know the man behind doing this is Triple H. And Triple H has not made very many, if at all, any bad decisions. Those decisions were made on behalf of outside forces that were beyond his control. And not everything Triple H does is going to be a hit. He said that in a sit-down interview he did with Joe Tess that you can find on WWE's YouTube channel that was posted today. It was inside the WWE headquarters in the lobby at Stamford. So he understands that everything's not a hit. Everything's not going to be 100%. It might be 70%. But I think they're going to do right and give Randy number 15 because I think the storyline dictates it. I don't think they're going to deny Randy his 15th world championship. With the way the storyline is being put into place.
And unfortunately, both Cody and Randy are dealt this hand that they're having to be dealt, and they can't get out of it because if you go into business for yourself, that's breaching contract. And I think that the decisions that are being made are above Triple H's pay grade. I think that this is not his decisions of bringing in McAfee and Jelly Roll. I think this is TKO and Ari Emanuel doing whatever the hell he wants to do. And fans are not happy. And not only fans aren't happy, but the wrestlers aren't happy. Creative isn't happy. Nobody's happy about this. They're dealt the hand they're dealt with, and everybody is expressing their opinions.
Hell, Punk did on Monday night on the Monday before last with that epic nuke he dropped on everybody.
Yeah.
He did just do it for himself. He did it for the boys in the locker room too that were not happy about the situation. But we're this close to WrestleMania. You know, we're only 4 or 5 days away. You know, we got to look at it from this perspective. You know what I mean? So
it is. It's unfortunate that we're dealt with this, you know, but hey, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, TKO has done nothing to benefit the superstars. It's done nothing to benefit the fans. And I mean, they raise ticket prices out the wazoo, and they wonder why crowds are not getting sold out as often.
Because, well, for one, you're running WrestleMania in the same venue that you ran last year. If you would have kept your promise and kept WrestleMania in New Orleans, which would have been this past weekend on the 11th and the 12th, respectively, you would have had probably a near sold-out stadium both nights. You would have had probably well over 60,000 people each night, because New Orleans is one of those cities that if you live on the East Coast or even the Midwest, it is still easy to get there. But if you live if they're doing it since they're doing it in Vegas again, it's not easy to get there because primarily you're going to have to fly, and ticket prices are expensive for flights now. And not everybody has, those types of funds to just spend on whatever the hell they want. And oh, by the way, the thing that still irks me, and I can't even believe that we're even saying this, you're going to have a guy that is going out there and saying, hey, 25% off the ticket prices for Saturday only up until Monday night. Oh, but by the way, don't buy a Sunday ticket because it's going to be ass. Who the hell does that? TKO is forcing Pat McAfee to go out there and say this bullshit. Because I honestly, truly believe that McAfee doesn't believe the shit that he's saying. Because he's being forced into a role that he's not comfortable with. I mean, can he be a good heel? Yes, because he was a good heel against Adam Cole in NXT. But this is not good heel heat. This is get the hell off my TV screen heat. This is not good heat. Proper heel heat is to generate ticket sales, generate buzz, rightfully so. If you're going to let CM Punk and Roman Reigns do whatever they want and tell their story and let the creative be creative, let the boys be the boys, then why does TKO have to constantly mess around with perfection, messing around with a story that us wrestling fans have been fantasizing, dreaming about for the last 3 years since Cody Rhodes, or technically, for being honest, since the last 4 years, since he came from All Elite Wrestling back to the WWE. Because when Cody came back to WWE, people were thinking, oh shit, we can get Cody versus Randy down the road. That would be great, right? Theoretically, yes, speaking, yes, but no, because TKO has to fuck it up. And this is not Triple H's fault. This is not his problem. He can't do but so much. Because if Ari Emanuel is saying, hey, Paul, go out there and do X, Y, and Z, he's going to have to make the best of the situation that he's dealt with, because he can't just tell Cody and Punk to go out there and say, you know what, fuck it, go out there and say whatever you want to say. No, because if you do that, you're breaching contract and you're breaching trust, because you're thinking to yourselves, God, this sucks, but we got to do what we got to do, I guess. And you can tell by Cody's tone in these promos, especially the first promo, coming out there and saying, Pat, you and everybody that represents you can all kiss my ass. but he said it more aggressive than I just did because that is how Cody was feeling on that promo. And then last week, you can tell when he was cutting that promo against McAfee, he's thinking to himself, why the hell are we even doing this in the first place? Because it should be me and Randy in this ring telling our story. And oh, by the way, Orton and Rhodes haven't even had a proper promo since the heel turn. This is all TKO's fault. They've done it again. They did it last year with Mania 41, inserting Travis Scott with Cena and Rhodes' match. Not fulfilling the heel turn with John Cena, with The Rock being involved. They screwed that up. That's not Cena's fault. That's TKO's fault. And we're in the same situation that we were in last year, this year, and it sucks.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, but I still can't get over the biggest fuck up that TKO has done. Oh, if they think that ticket sales are not going to get any better for this year's WrestleMania, just wait and see how bad ticket sales are going to be when WrestleMania goes to fucking Saudi Arabia next year.
And not only that, but nobody in America is going to be willing to travel there. And not to get political here, nobody wants to enter a war zone because
Nope.
potentially the war could still be happening. And if you're TKO, if you give a single solitary shit about your wrestlers, about the creative writers, about the crew members, if you give a single solitary shit about this company, then you will call an audible and say, you know what? This move to Saudi Arabia for 27 is not going to work. Let's go to Los Angeles or let's go to New Orleans. Better yet, let's go to New Orleans and do right by the fans because we screwed them out of Mania this year when they were supposed to be there this year. And oh, here's your consolation prize, New Orleans. You get money in the bank. If they,
don't get me wrong. Saudi Arabia has put together some great WWE events. But come on, to have a big name pay-per-view, no, not just a big name pay-per-view, the biggest pay-per-view of the year at Saudi Arabia. Come on now.
And what turned me off with them, the biggest of all, was the Rumble this year. That crowd was pathetic.
Oh.
They were terrible. And I know Ez can speak for it. I know Ez can speak for it too, because the crowd that night was terrible. Like,
yep.
The energy wasn't there. If this would have been in America, the energy would have been there because there is nothing like a Rumble countdown from a crowd. They screwed that up too. So, yeah, if TKO cares about the fans, the wrestlers, the writers, the crew that busts their asses to put these shows on week after week, God forbid if this war is still going on next year, if you care about your people, you will not have this in Saudi Arabia. And if they do continue with it, all they care about is the money. And clearly that's all Ari Emanuel and TKO give a single shit about is money. Money. And outpricing the fans, thinking that, oh, we could set the ticket prices to whatever we want because, oh, the product was so hot in 23 and 24 and 25, or 23 and 24. 25, it was kind of, hot and cold, but still, people were still coming. We can put the prices to whatever we want. People looked at the prices and said, you know what, we ain't going to do that because just because it's going to be in Vegas again, we're not going to go there again because we can't afford it. I mean, what does Ari think? Money grows on trees? Are you out of your mind? Do you think that any average American can spend that kind of money going to WrestleMania in the same city again for a second straight year? You didn't even see this shit when Vince was running WWE. You didn't see WrestleMania really in the same venue other than 4 and 5 at the Trump Plaza in Jersey. That was the only time. You did not have a single Mania happening in the same city consecutive years. This whole situation is ridiculous on so many levels. And it pisses me off. It pisses all of us off that we have to be dealt the most crappiest of crappiest sandwiches when it comes to being a fan. Because the creative that TKO is doing right now, it is a slap in the face to the wrestlers, to the writers, to the fans, to everybody that goes out there that wants to put on the best possible show that they can. And you can hear it in Cody's tone. He is furious. And Punk did the same thing last week, cutting out, like Ez mentioned, cutting that epic pipe bomb. No, that wasn't a pipe bomb. That was a full-blown nuclear. Punk does not give a fuck. He says whatever he wants to say. Plain as day.
Yeah, and it's really, really sad when you look at how bad ticket sales have dropped. I mean, I saw this a couple of days ago whenever I was scrolling through TV the other day. WrestleMania last year had, I think it was like 45,000 clear in both nights. This year, last I saw, which was, I would say maybe a week ago, WrestleMania Saturday still has 8,000 seats available.
If I'm not mistaken,
WrestleMania
again,
Sunday still has 9,000 seats available.
now I would have to dig through the archives and really go through the Twitter history. Because I would be really curious to read these numbers on Twitter/X, because they had probably well over 50 some odd thousand in the Mania. Again, you would have to really dig through the archives to really as a matter of fact, maybe I think I found something here.
Found something.
Yes, I did.
I found something. Check this out. They're saying as of now, WrestleMania 42 ticket sales at Allegiant Stadium have reached over 42,000 for night one and 43,000 plus for night two. But they're saying that those numbers are currently lagging behind 2025 figures by about 10,000 to 13,000 tickets per
Because
night.
they had well over 60,000 tickets distributed for night one and over 61, I believe, in night two. So that's a huge drop off.
Yeah, it is. But that's what you get for running in the same city 2 years in a row with the card that's being partially controlled by your parenting company. It just sucks. But I want to get to quickly, guys, the next one, which is of course the world heavyweight title match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. We've
All right,
seen.
I'm going to go ahead and go first with this one.
Okay, we'll let you.
Don't get me wrong. Punk's title reign has been great on numerous occasions. Punk's promos have been top-notch perfection. But it's been 2 years since Roman last held a championship in general in WWE. And I think that WWE is going to pull the plug on CM Punk and give Roman Reigns the belt on Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Roman is going to win the belt because Punk has been given a pretty lengthy title reign since winning it at Saturday Night's Main Event last year. I think that Roman is going to win. I think it should be a really good match. But heading into this, I could see situations where it's going to be hard for people to call this because any one of these guys can win it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm going to go with Roman. I'm sticking with Roman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Roman as well. I would love for Punk to get that elusive win on the main event of WrestleMania. Obviously, I'll be rooting for Punk all the way. Being a Chicago area guy and being from Northwest Indiana and all this stuff, I'll be rooting for Punk all the way. Obviously, this feud has been fueled by mutual hatred between each other. It's been fueled by rage. It's been fueled by who's the better person. Also, too, the question I have is we know Roman's going to have the elaborate entrance with all the pyro and all the craziness. I think Punk, whether it's in a video package or whether it's going to be either played or during as he walks down or live, we are going to hear Miseria Cantare, the beginning from AFI, his old theme song from Ring of Honor.
Hmm.
I think we're going to hear that because Punk posted a photo a couple weeks ago on his Instagram of the Luxor Vegas through a window, and you could only see like a very slim portion of the side of his head, and his looked like his right side, but he was wearing the black jacket with the white stripe going across the chest, and he put in there radiate, which the lyric to the song is radiate, recognize one silent call. So I have a feeling that Punk's going to be bringing his old ROH team in, look possibly to this battle with Roman Reigns.
That would be interesting if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. But those are our two big title matches in Mania, folks, and we'll be watching Saturday, Sunday, depending on where you're going to watch it at. ESPN app, Netflix internationally. If you're using a VPN.
Yep.
So,
real quick before I get off here, I want to get you guys' opinions on one thing regarding WrestleMania.
Sure thing. What you got?
If and this question is for all three of us. If all three of us, and it could be the same one if we really wanted it to, but if all three of us could pick one match, either Saturday or Sunday, that would really stand out to us, what match would it be and why?
Probably the one that kind of sticks out to me is a couple of them. I would say Jacob and Drew stands out, and of course Brock and Obi. And speaking of and Oba on Monday last night, Oba's promo last night was unbelievable. Oba Femi has it all. That promo that Oba cut last night was absolutely incredible. Like his timing with letting the crowd come in with their chants, and then Oba would come back in with the promo. I'm like, dude, he might be young, but he has got it. He's got the intangibles on how to be a pro wrestler on TV.
Hey, I'm telling you one thing. If WWE does not let Oba beat Brock on Sunday at WrestleMania, they are going to lose so many fans. It's going to be unreal.
I don't think there's no way you don't have Oba beat Brock because
There's
of
no
the way
way.
they do this. And Brock, I think, is having a lot of fun working with him. And Brock wouldn't be doing something like this if he was just going to squash him. Brock is going to be beat by Oba because Brock wants this kid to succeed and be the next big thing. Wants him to be the next big monster superstar like he was for the past 20 years.
Oh,
And
yeah.
You can tell Brock's having a lot of fun because he's putting a lot of effort into making sure Oba looks as good as humanly possible. Whether it's the brawl that they had where they were throwing furniture or Brock leaping into the air to the pile of bodies. You don't see Brock usually doing that. You see Brock suplexing it and F5ing somebody or suplexing the entire security team and then the person gets a lucky shot at it. Brock is having a lot of fun. You could tell that just from the way he's reacting to Oba and putting him over. So I think I think Oba definitely is going to end up winning that one because there's no way you don't do it the way Brock is Brock is putting this kid over as at this point right now.
I mean, when he cut that promo last night, I was like, man, he's got just the chops to do it because clearly Triple H and Creative are behind this. Nobody from TKO is stepping in here and interfering with this. They are letting Oba and Brock do their thing. And just how Oba was just talking last night, he was just doing everything. He was talking normal, he was talking low, and then he would bring it up a notch, and then he would crank it up again. Like he has the intangibles to cut a promo because he's learned from the best. And the entrance of Oba is something special.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been seeing young fans in the audiences whenever Oba comes out. I see them try to mimic Oba Femi's entrance, and it's just breathtaking.
As when you were in Chicago for C2E2, did anybody out there, were they doing cosplays of Oba?
Oh, but when I played his team, we were all doing the Oba walk by our table.
Nice.
I
But like even when like you could tell you could tell though we were talking to people were excited about the Brock Oba match at WrestleMania. A lot of people are into it.
You can make the argument that Brock and Oba's match feels more like a main event. Oh, I mean, not obviously Punk and Roman does too, but hell, Brock and Oba's build up has been tremendous.
Well, yeah, let me tell you, WWE did the right thing by selecting that match to open WrestleMania Sunday.
Yep.
They did it. They did the right thing. And then having the IC title ladder match following that one.
Mhm.
Oh, boy.
That's the
Mhm.
match I predict will steal the show the whole weekend. I'm telling you now, I'm calling it the IC title ladder match. Not only because it's a ladder match and we know the car crashes, the insane spots are coming, but you have not only Penta, you have Dragon Lee, you have Javon Evans, you have Rey fucking Mysterio
Who
back
could
in
still
his
go in
ladder
that ring?
who is still at the top of his game 30 years into his career. That match has the possibility of taking the whole weekend. And
Yeah.
that's going to get some stiff competition.
Oh yeah.
So,
I
And
tell you what, if
Joey, I
I,
know you got to get out of here real quick. In just a second here, but want to say thank you for coming on with a little surprise for us. We appreciate that you donating some of your time. I know your schedule's been kind of hectic lately with everything going on at home, so hopefully we'll have you on next week, man. I really, really hope.
I guess we'll see what happens. But real quick, I do want to give the one match that I think might steal the show at WrestleMania. And I know this is one that they probably just put together just for the heck of it. But if you ask me, I think the match between Seth Rollins and Gunther might steal the show.
Oh yeah, two of the best premier wrestlers on the planet.
now we know that Gunther is doing this as a favor to Heyman.
Yep.
And Gunther said, I want something in return too. I'm like, Brock.
Yep.
And also, shout outs to Liv and Stephanie Becker. My God, this has been a lot of fun.
Speaking of Stephanie Becker, she was at NXT tonight. She came out, not came out, but Lola was backstage getting ready for her match tonight, her title match tonight, and Steph came out there, talked to her, and wished her good luck.
Interesting.
So,
And also, speaking of Steph, really cool that she did an interview over the weekend. Not about wrestling, but about her love of rock and metal.
yep, absolutely. We're going to talk about that when Joe takes off here in a second. Joe, man, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you coming on as always, brother.
Of course, not a problem. I was glad I was able to make it tonight.
Yep.
Absolutely, brother.
But all right, guys, I'm out of here.
Later, dude.
All right, brother.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Before we begin, before we leave here, because I know we're getting close to the end of the time here. We got 15 minutes, but we don't have 15 more minutes of discussion to get to right now. This is kind of bowing out the end of our topic. So, quick congratulations are in order to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction class this year. We're not going to get into a debate over what's that rock, this and that. But we're just going to say congratulations to everyone, including with Vandross, including Wu-Tang Clan, which was a big shock to me. I'm happy Wu-Tang.
Obviously, one of the, even though they're not rock, but as far as influence, oh, absolutely on the rap and hip hop, world. Wu Tang, one of the best rap groups.
And you got to think most of the members, except for Old Dirty Bastard, are still alive.
Yep.
Well, we know that Old Dirty Bastard's son has been fronting this final run of Wu-Tang as far as a live act. So, see that, but also congratulations are in order to Sade, Oasis, Billy Idol, Phil Collins, and of course Iron fucking Maiden, who finally gets in.
Yep.
Big congratulations to everybody on this honor, and we'll see what happens in November. Who performs what?
And we teased it a second ago, but really cool that Stephanie Vaquer did that interview over the weekend.
Yep.
Was it Metal Hammer?
Metal Hammer.
Yeah. Did the interview with Metal Hammer and talked about her love of music, including mentioning that her dream is to have Megadeth's
Head Crusher,
which was a WCW theme back in the day.
That was Crusher.
Oh,
Head
really?
Crusher is off of the 2008 album Endgame.
Oh, okay. I got the two songs mixed up.
Yeah, it's the one about the medieval torture device.
Yeah, but really cool that she mentioned that, and that's a deep cut. If you're a Megadeth fan, you know that song.
No, that's actually not a deep cut.
Really?
Head Crusher was a single. It was a single behind This Day We Fight. Because it was This Day We Fight and then Head Crusher. Head Crusher had a video too, that featured like like prisoners, supposedly prisoners, but some of them were actual real MMA fighters in the video, fighting to be paroled, and it was like a last person standing who survives would win, and Dave Mustaine was playing like a game host, and he would pick the person, and he picked this short person who, when he took it off, the hood was that of a beautiful woman. Come to find out, that woman is the karate hottie Michelle Waterson. And she goes in there and kicks this dude's ass, beats him to death, and gets paroled because she won.
Very cool. And the fact that she mentioned that, in the interview, to have that song to be a dream for her to be a theme song, like that is really cool.
Because it's a heavy, heavy riff, and it's just that the intro solo is incredible. That was just a really, really cool moment to see that from Steph, and to hear that she's a big fan of Megadeth, Slipknot, and Limp Bizkit, and a lot of fans from the 90s, 2000s era, and of course some of the 80s stuff that she also grew up with. But
yeah, the Stephanie and Liv stuff has been very entertaining on TV.
Oh, absolutely. The fights, the battles, the marks they've left on each other.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be a very big battle, but here's what but we're all excited, man. Mania's this weekend. I want to throw out a couple quick notes for you guys who are going to be watching stuff this weekend. Couple of events coming up as part of the big weekend known as the GCW Collective Weekend, which is also part of Mania Weekend in Vegas. You can check out Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, definitely, which is one of the big events on, I believe it is Thursday or Friday, which will feature one of the biggest matches on the card, be Josh Barnett versus Yuji Nagata, New Japan legend, and also Natty Neidhart, the low-key legend, taking on the Queen of Spades herself, Shayna Baszler.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Also, Pete Dunne's on the card. Charlie Dempsey's on the card. So it's going to be a very, very high-packed card full of wrestling talent on there. Timothy Thatcher is going to be on there as well. Also, another one is obviously the MDK Fight Club. Another great one. Wonder what that one's going to be about. Also, Deathmatch Invitational, hosted by New Japan's own deathmatch expert El Desperado. Three-way deathmatch company in that one. Jukasai and Desperado versus I forget who's the second team, but the third team is Matt Tremont and Nick fucking Gage. And
Man, that's gonna be fun.
lots of glass, lots of barbed wire, pizza cutters, whatever they can get their hands on.
Oh yeah.
And then finally, Joey Janela's Spring Break and the Immortal Clusterfuck. Both of those events are going to be off the freaking chain.
Featuring the final match of the Sandman.
Sandman versus the Invisible Man. You also got Brody Lee Jr. taking on Joey Janela. Effie versus Alley Catch. Loser leaves GCW. Atticus Koger versus defending the GCW title against Hayabusa.
And I know for you, that's a big one for you.
Yeah, the new kid under the Hayabusa gimmick. He's going to be making his GCW debut. Only a year into the business, the person is who's playing Hayabusa this time. It's going to be interesting. And then I believe there. Oh yeah, this is a big one. KJ Orso and Sam Stackhouse versus Jungle Jack Perry and Marco Stunt. Jurassic Express reunites. So it's going to be an awesome, awesome weekend full of stuff. Check it out on Triller TV if you got it. It's only $7.99, $8.99 a month. Please get it. It's worth the price of admission alone. But that's it for the show. Steven, do you have anything else you want to discuss before we get the hell out of here?
Nah, I'm good. What a great show this turned out to be. Thanks to Joey for coming on. And next week we'll be bringing our top 5 NFL games of this past year. And yeah, the draft is next week. And we'll be talking about the playoffs in the NBA, as that will be already well underway. And we might even give our Mania thoughts for this upcoming weekend. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the wrestling. If you're flying out to Vegas, going to Mania and all the events this weekend, please stay safe. Have a lot of fun. And please, if you are gambling, know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Know when to walk away. And please know when to run. Because we do not need people losing a lot of money when they're gambling. But, as we all know, in Vegas, the devil always wins. Because gambling is the favorite thing to do in Vegas. And speaking of the devil, shout outs to MJF and Kenny Omega for having a hell of a match on Sunday night at AEW Dynasty. A great match between those two guys in Vancouver over the weekend. Those two absolutely killed it. I thought Dynasty was a really good show. It was definitely a lot better than that SmackDown episode last week. Because, ooh, yeah, McAfee. Oh, God. Anyways, great show tonight. Had a lot of fun tonight. And can't wait to be back on here with you guys next week. And again, you can follow us on Twitter or X at Owen_Sports Show. Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, where we are live tonight. YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. And I am pretty sure the guys and gal are not doing a show this weekend because Mania is starting this weekend early at both nights, 6 o'clock on the East Coast, 3 o'clock Pacific. And but they'll be back to talk about it next week and all that good stuff. And follow them on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere else on the Facebook, the Instagram, and the YouTube pages are at the Nation's Corner. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, the show will not be happening this Saturday to enjoy the weekend festivities. With that being said, what a great show tonight. Ezra, wrap us up, my friend.
Sure thing, man. Thank you guys so much again. We appreciate it. You can find us all at our individual social medias, be it Deadmid469, Stephen Wyan at Stephen_Wyan. Our buddy Joey Thornton is at Take Command 92, I believe. You can find us all on our social medias. We'll be posting stuff. Also follow at 2 Sweet Cosplay across all socials. We're getting prepared for our photo shoot coming up at Anime Central, which will take place May 18th, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get the date set up. No, it's actually May 19th. We're going to be doing it. 1 o'clock p.m. At the Hyatt Regency O'Hare. More information will be released once we get the final plan details on it from Anime Central. You can go to animecentral.com to get your passes. There are a limited number of pickup passes for the weekend. Also, you can order a 3-day pass online and you can pick it up at Will Call as well. So please get on that. But then we're also preparing also for other cons this week or this coming summer as well. More updates to come when they become available. With that being said, for Stephen Wyan, for Kevin Roy, for Joey Thornton, for our boy Hijacker Mike at Mr. Mac, and of course follow Smoke in the Bay, Smoke and THA Bay for all your cigar needs and all your cigar information. For all those guys, I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you all right here next week with another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. You have a great week, and we will see you all next time. Same time, same YouTube channel.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up.
Thanks for watching this week's featured presentation of our Nation Sports Show.